Hey everyone, I'm going to show you what I'd like you to do for your chapters. I showed you the way we're going to take notes for each chapter. There's only 6 chapters in Of Mice and Men, and I'm doing the first one for you. And eventually you'll have, 6 pages in total of notes of some things that you were noting, some major ideas, some processed thoughts, and some quotes. And I think that all of this will help us when we get ready to write about this book. Okay, so you're doing this in addition to writing one formal annotation that you're going to submit through Classroom 2. Okay, so as you notice, like I showed you in the sample, I start with chapter 1. I have my title, my author, my date, and then let's take a look at what I see here. Okay, the first thing that I want to jot down as far as what was happening in the book, so the novel opens, right? It starts, and the setting is beautiful, right? But it's more than just beautiful. It's almost like perfection, right? So I'm going to use the word idyllic. Idyllic means extremely peaceful, picturesque, or blissful. And idyllic really has the connotation of just perfection. So as this novel opens, as we noticed, and I was talking with you on the video, Steinbeck uses imagery, and there's my drawing, in that first section just so often. And I noted that they talked about the golden foothill, the water was slipped, it was twinkling. And I'm going to bring myself over here to think about my author's purpose. And I've used this little idea light bulb to kind of signal that I'm about to talk about author's purpose. And so now I have to think about, so why did he do this, right? Why was he going into such beautiful, idyllic description? Well, I think these images emphasize and enhance the importance of the natural setting. Okay, so the author used imagery, but who cares? Well, I think it's emphasizing and enhancing the natural setting. So this setting's got to be a driving force, a really important in the text. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, my notes go on. Okay, and then 2 men appear. They're opposites of one another, and they're traveling together. I note that Lenny and George come into view. And as I was noting when I was reading yesterday, Lenny is huge. He's got those bear paws, but he seems to be intellectually limited. And George, he's described as small, sharp, and he seems to be, in my mind, a caregiver, right? They're, as I was talking about yesterday when I was reading and I was thinking, he seems to be his friend, but more than that, he's taking care of him. Okay, so why does that matter? Who cares? Well, I'm noticing characterization, and there's my little diagram for when I'm going to use characterization in my notes. I'm going to use this little 2 guys thing. So why does it matter? Well, I'm already asking questions about their relationship. So this relationship between the 2 men may drive the plot. And when I say drive the plot, I mean this relationship is going to focus what happens in this story. It's not just about a man named Lenny and a man named George, or even these 2 separate people, but it's their relationship together. All right, so here's the event, here's the detail, here's why I think it matters. Okay, and as we've already seen with Lenny and George, with the mouse, when George takes the mouse away and throws it across the little pond, and then he goes and gets it, and even when they allude or give reference to something bad that Lenny has done in another town, I think conflict may arise because the nature of each man. Okay, and then something I noticed as I was writing my notes, I said the nature of the man, but I also said nature up here. And I'm going to add a little note as I'm thinking right here. I wonder if this idea of human nature will be something that Steinbeck is addressing. Okay, so my thoughts are progressing to bigger ideas. Here's my thoughts, bigger ideas. And look, this is an idea that I came to just from discussing this with you guys. So all of these are different ways that I'm teaching you how to have original thoughts about what it is that you read. Okay, and then the last thing, they have this dream and have a dream. And their dream is a little bit different than my dream, but not so much different, right? They want rabbits. I'm trying to focus this a little bit more. No, it's not working. I think that's the best we got. I don't want rabbits, but I do want a family. I love my dog. I don't want a farm, but I do want my peace and my quiet and autonomy to do whatever it is that I want to do. And so this dream, or who cares about that? Well, I think that it's actually motif work. And I'm going to explain motif a little bit longer, but motif is essentially an idea that repeats again and again and again. So I'm thinking these rabbits are part of a motif. And that motif might be this American dream, right? Our country is a little bit different than others in that this idea of the American dream holds true. People move here for our American dream. And it seems to these two guys, their American dream is just to enjoy living on what they work for. And another way to say that is fruits of our labor. Okay, some quotes I found that I think really exemplify or stand out. In this chapter, George says, "So you forgot already, did you? I gotta tell you again, do I? Jesus Christ, you're a crazy bastard." And George says that. And Lenny, poor Lenny, says, "I forgot." He also says, "I could pet it with my thumb while we walked along," and that's so sweet and sad all at once. And then I thought it was important to add this quote that George also says, "If you just happen to get in trouble like you always done before, I want you to come right and hide here, you to come right here and hide in the brush." Okay, so that's the notes that I've created. Those are the notes that I've created for my chapter 1. And you see, I really only talked about 1, 2, 3 different events, things that I think are really important to remember. And I did all this process thinking over here, and I used my different colors because that helps me keep things straight. So your job is to create a page like this for each of the chapters, okay? And I'm going to be posting someplace to share it in your classroom because I'd like everybody to take a look at what we got. All right, great job.